Hello and welcome to lesson 1 of week 5. In this lesson, we are going to look at SQLAlchemy and we are going to look at how we can load MySQL database from pandas. My name is Mildred. Up until now, we've looked at the basics of pandas and NumPy. We have seen how to clean messy data. We are going to look in details at exploratory data analysis in the future lesson, and in preparation for that, we are going to look at this SQLAlchemy and try to create or simulate something. Now, SQLAlchemy, written SQLAlchemy like this, is like a Python toolkit. It's an object relational mapper that will allow us to connect to database. We can connect to either MySQL database or PostgreSQL or SQLite, all those databases. We can run raw SQL queries within Python when we use it. We can use Python objects instead of writing SQL directly, and we can also build database-driven applications when we use SQLAlchemy. Now, we have the SQLAlchemy that supports core, which will use SQL expressions and raw SQL, and then we have the ORM, which uses Python classes mapped to tables. So in this lesson, since this is not a database course, we are going to just focus on the core, which will use SQL expressions and raw SQL, and we are going to try it. So for you to start, you want to first of all activate your virtual environment, and then you want to pip install SQLAlchemy. Now, when it is installed, requirements already satisfied for me because I have it, but when it's done installing, you want to install PyMySQL, which are the drivers that you will use for your specific databases. So I'll just pip install PyMySQL. You can install Py as the PyObj2 binary if you're using Postgres, and you can also do SQLite 3 if you are using SQLite. So what we need, since we're using MySQL, is PyMySQL, but I just put all three for those of you who want to explore other databases. Now I have this already satisfied and it's installed already. So we want to run a script. We want to create a database for this lesson, and for this I'm going to come to MySQL Workbench. Now if you have not taken the SQL course, you want to install MySQL Workbench. I will give you a link to the week 1 of SQL class for you to follow the instructions to launch your Workbench or to do the installations. Now I have this script that I will use to create a database, and I want the database name to be Access Control DB, and I want to create a database, and then I want to create tables in the database, and I want to insert data into it for us to work with. Alright, so we will run this query and it has created that database Access Control DB here, and so I'm going to use that database to illustrate this class. So your lesson resource contains the script that you run to create that database with the tables and the record in it. Now we want to create a database connection first, and we'll create a database connection engine and test the connection. We are using MySQL plus the raw SQL query, so we'll say engine is equal to create engine, and so we have MySQL plus the driver PyMySQL, the host password at localhost, okay, the user root password at localhost, and the port, you can skip it if it's a default, / the name of your database, which is the syntax. And so this is the engine. Now when you create the engine, then you can now connect to it. Before we do use this engine, we have to import this from SQLAlchemy. So we say from SQLAlchemy we want to import create engine. We also want to import text because we want to write raw SQL. Now in our Python classes, we looked at context manager where we want to open connections, and we don't want to deal with the overhead of closing these connections, so we just use context manager. So we'll say with engine.connect has connection, or let me use as con. We'll say result is equal to, we want to select everything from the user state, so we'll say result is equal to con.execute, and here I will put the text because we imported text, and in a pair of parentheses for the text we want to write our SQL query. I want to select all from the user state. Okay? So I'll write select all from. Now after we have this stored in result, let's loop through it and then let's print out each of the row. So for row in the result, print out row. When I run this, we have everything in the user state. When I come here and I say use access control DB and I say select all from users and run, we'll see the users we have John, Mary, Alex, Linda, and that is exactly what we got here, John, Mary, Alex, Linda. So now that we have this, we can pass it as JSON, as a dictionary, display it on the front end, whatever we want to do. But this is just Python. We have not used this as pandas to convert it to a data frame, to clean the data, or we want to do some analysis. So when you have data stored in a database, or you are building an app, and after the app is built, you want to do a dashboard where you do auto reporting, this is one of the things you will use. You will look at the table of concern, you bring it out here, you can pass it to a data frame to do all of the cleaning and the analysis. We're going to look at that before the end of this lesson. Now you see I selected selected all from users. What if I want to use a where clause, or I want to filter this by something? We want to use parameters to make sure there's no SQL injection attacks. So let's say I have a query here, and the query is equal to, I want to use the text in a pair of parentheses. I will say select all from, we have another table, user roles, where role ID is equal to ID. And then here we are going to parameterize this, and when we say result is equal to con.execute, now what we want to execute here now is query, right? We're executing this query that we did there, and then in a pair of curly brace, so when you put the query like this, put a comma, in a pair of curly brace you want to put the ID. And so now we use the parameter ID here, we put a colon before the name of the parameter, and then when you want to tell this parameter what it is here, you put that name of parameter, colon, and that value there. All right, and then you want to print it out. So because in a user row table, let's select all from user row, where row ID is, let's do where row ID is 3 here, and let me copy that and come here and say I'll run the query here, select all from user row where row ID is equal to 3. So we're going to get user ID and the row ID. So the row ID is 3 for this one, for user with the ID 2 and 4, and that's what we expect to see here when we run. So we have it 2 and 4 with the row ID 3. So you see how it passed this out. So now we have seen how to use parameters to prevent SQL injection. We can also insert data here. Let's say we want to insert data into the users table, for instance. So let's say we have this text and we use the insert query. So we'll say insert, let's say text here, and I'll do insert into, I want to insert into the users table, and the users table have 2 columns. I want to insert into the username and the email column, and I want to insert the values. Now I want to insert parameterized values like this, and so the values here, username, email, and then I will pass it in when I do it here. All right, so I'll say with engine.connect as con, then now I'm not doing this result, so I'm going to do the con.execute, and so we're going to execute the query, and then we'll pass in the parameters that we want to pass. And in a pair of curly brace, I want to say this username here is going to be, so let me do it like this username is going to be, let's have Alice, and then the email will be alice@example.com, and then I'll copy this and I'll repeat it for several users I want to create. So this is what you can do. If it's only one, you can do one. So want to have another name, and we'll have Anna@example.com, we'll have Andrew, and the email here will be Andrew@example.com. Let's have James, and the email here will be James@example.com, and let's have John, and we'll have John@example.com. And after this, you commit on.submit. Okay, then now once it's inserted, we want to print users inserted successfully. So now let's look at the users table on the SQL here. Let's select all from users. We can see what we have there: John, Mary, Alex, Linda. Let's run this query and let's get a success message. So we have a problem: username John, email this, and the thing is duplicate for John. Has been I put insert ignore. When you have duplicate, you will not have this error. It will just go through, and if it's not there, it will just say users inserted successfully. Now when I come back here and I run this, we will see that we have all our new users inserted. Okay, so you can see how this works, and so you can run your query to get them. So you can update different users if you want. We can put an update query, and let's say here will be, so an update query goes like this. We'll say update, let's update users, and then we'll set email equal to an email. We'll use parameters like this where the username is username, and we want to update, let's say we want to update just Alice, right? So we'll say con.execute query. We want the, so let's just do email is equal to alice@example.com, and then let's make the email be alicenew@example.com. Okay, we want to set the email equal to alicenew@example.com, and we want to tell it what the username is. So the username here is Alice. All right, so it knows where the username is Alice, and then we'll commit this. All right, and instead of this, we can just select all from users here. So we can say query equal to select all from users. We'll not use the where clause here, and when we do this, we want it to run. We'll say with engine.connect, we'll see everything. And so when we run this, we'll see that Alice's email here is still alice@example.com. So we say update user, set email equal to email where username is username. So the username Alice is there, and we want to update this. So the reason this is not updated is because we did not commit this. Every time you do that, you must commit. So if you look at transaction, without committing, it rolls back. It does not take effect. So when we run this again, we'll see that Alice's email is now Alice new. It is updated. And when we come back to SQL here and we select all, Alice's email is now Alice new. So take note of the error. You always have to commit your query here at the end. Now to delete, we just use delete from. So you can delete from users where the username is the username. So it's the same pattern. You just run your SQL query like that. So this is just the basic way. There is an object-oriented way we can do this, and in the next lesson lesson, we'll look at how we can integrate this data that we have now into Pandas work. Thank you and see you in the next lesson.